Yo, what is going on everybody? Shri Kanase here. So hacks to 10 times your ROAS with Google Shopping ads. And in this video, I'm going to be covering 7 different hacks which you can implement right away right now. And these hacks cost you $0 to actually implement. But with their implementation, and if you do it correctly, you will face up to a 10 times return on your ad spend, meaning for every $1 that you spend, you'll get back roughly $10. And no, this is not a joke. It has happened because these hacks come directly from my own experience. And these hacks are directly related to a wide variety of different things, starting from the product pages and optimizing those pages all the way to the back end stuff. So this is one video you're going to want to watch until the end. But without wasting any more time, let's just jump right into it. So the first hack to not just 10 times but 100 times your results with literally all of Shopify is to smash that like button. Just kidding, but I will appreciate it if you definitely do smash that like button. But the real hack that will definitely 10 times your results with Google Shopping ads is adding special effects to images. Now, what do I mean by this exactly? Let's go ahead and go on over to a specific product example which I have opened up for you guys. So I've searched up the product Kids GPS Tracker, and what I want you guys to do is look at the specific images for all of the ads that have come up. Out of all of these images, to me personally, one image pops out the most, and it is this one right here. Now, when I said that adding special effects to your images is one of the hack, and it's number 1 by the way, it's because as you can see, when you are competing with other potential competitors selling that same exact product as yours, these special effects really make a big difference. Now, let's start from the beginning. So the first image is of just a laptop screen or some kind of screen and a mobile device along with a special small GPS tracker that I can barely see. The second one is a dog collar. So it's not a kid's GPS tracker, it's rather a dog collar, and the same thing for the third one. So these two are pretty much irrelevant. These guys just wasted their money on this specific keyword. So that's one thing you also want to do. Always look out for those negative keywords. But if you want me to make a video on adding negative keywords, let me know down in the comment section. But the fourth one is the real deal. It's where it's actually relevant to what we searched up, and it looks like it's a watch with the GPS tracking ability. And it is a dropshipping store here, as you can see by the name Trend Hacker. But this image did not pop out to me. This one did. And why? If we look at it, they added some special effects. They added an orange circle with the product inside that orange circle, and the orange circle has an arrow pointing towards a small child. So as you can see, they did a lot of extra things to make this image pop out. They added this special effect, and this is exactly what I'm referring to when I say add special effects to your images. When you do this, your click-through rate increases, and when your click-through rate increases, your chances of selling that product, if the search term matches the product, and it's not like where I search up kids GPS tracker and dog collars come up, then you have a much higher chance of getting more sales and becoming more profitable. Because once you start getting a higher click-through rate, Google will automatically start ranking you in the top 5 listings. As you can see with this one, this is currently the top 5. Pretty soon, if a lot of people continue to click on this specific ad, it's going to be all the way at number 1. But that's the first hack. And what you want to understand is there's a limit as to how much you can do this. If you overdo this, your product is just going to get disapproved. Now, there's another example of where this was kind of overdone here. If we scroll all the way to the right, we can see that this specific dropshipping store overdid it. If you look at the product image, we can see it's the same photo in the background with the kids walking and then the red location mark on top of each kid. But one bad thing they did is they had the text in there. You should never have text in your shopping ad image because that will lead to product disapproval. But along with text, they have a weird kind of image for the product itself. I'm not really sure what the product is. Is the product the phone itself, or is it this thing which I can barely see? So as you can see, it's not that great of an image to use, and even though I added special effects, they overdid it. And that could also be one of the reasons why they're not in the top 5 list, but rather all the way over down here. And another specific store did the same exact thing. If we look at this one right here, Roki Tal, another dropshipping store possibly, they have the same image and they're all the way at the bottom. And this tells me that their click-through rate must be very, very low, and they must be wondering why they're not getting sales even though they're uploading products. So this is one of the reasons. Never overdo things, because when you overdo it, Google just marks it as kind of spammy and it ruins your quality score, which is a very important thing. But again, refrain from adding too much text, if any at all, to your products. But along with having a great image, you need to focus on one more thing, and that is having a great title. So that brings me to my next point, which is using the first 50 characters for the most searched SEO optimized keywords. Now, if you're unsure as to how to even do this, I have a bunch of videos. You can click on the top right hand corner of your screen. It should have popped up right now. But along with that, another strategy that you can use to kind of understand what SEO optimized keywords are is to look at the first few products that come up. And of course, look at the relevant products, because in this case, if you're selling a kid's GPS tracker and you look at the keywords for the smart dog collar, we're gonna have a problem. But instead, look at the first one. So it looks like this is a golf swing analyzer. So this is again not relevant to what we searched up. The most relevant one is over here, and it looks like it's included a brand name in front, Parent Smart, and then it says Kids Tracker Watch, Tiled GPS Tracker, dark blue. There's one great reason why they did all of this, and they know how to properly SEO optimize. But you want to kind of look at these specific product listings that come up in the top and look at how they're wording their titles, because it is important to know how they're doing it so you can do it yourself. So this one says GPS tracker for kids and bikes, small mini. So as you can see, it's very, very relevant to what we have searched up. And again, this will be only found through proper SEO optimized keywords. And again, if you're not sure, be sure to watch that video I mentioned a few seconds ago. But remember that you can have up to 70 characters. That's what I recommend, at least in your Google shopping ad. The total max limit is up to 150, around there, but I recommend around 70, and the first 50 should be the most important keywords. But remember not to do keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is when you just add random keywords, basically everything that you found all together inside the product title. This is just gonna make Google think of you as spammy and actually ruin your quality score, so you don't want to do that. But along with that, I have an image as to what should be done when it comes to the product names, especially if you're running a niche store or a brand. So this is something I directly got from an app which specializes with Google shopping ads with the WooCommerce called Data Feed Watch. But they recommend a specific title structure. So if you're selling apparel, make sure to include the brand and then the gender and then product type plus attributes. If you're selling consumables like pills or anything like that, include the brand first, then the product type, then the attributes, weight, count, etc. So you can pause this video to kind of take a screenshot of this if this applies to you. But there's a little bit more at the bottom as well. So for seasonal items, you can do occasion, product type, attributes, books, title plus type plus format plus author, and electronics. This one could apply to a lot of us because a lot of us dropship electronics. So it's brand plus attributes plus product type plus model number. So the Kids GPS tracker, this one right here, kind of did that. They started off with the brand name, which is Parent Smart. As you can see, that's one of the things to mention. And then it said attribute. So you could also include what kind of product it is about. So their attribute was Kids Tracker Watch. Then they said product type and the model number. So here they just said child GPS tracker for the product type, and the model number here, in this case, they just put the color of the product. So they followed that specific format, and this is why they're probably ranking number 4. So you want to kind of take this into account when you're doing your titles, and they could really help you with optimizing your Google shopping ads and really get that ROAS to 10 times, possibly even 100 times. But let's move on to the next thing. So the next thing that you should be doing, which is related to optimization, is doing shopping feed optimization. Now, if you're unsure as to what I'm even referring to, again, click the video on the top right of your screen. I made a whole video on Google shopping feed optimization. Literally, this could be the difference between you making a 6-figure to 7-figure Google ad store versus just making a measly 2-figure to 3-figure, even 4-figure store. A lot of people focus on adding products, but they forget that shopping feed optimization is a must. It's not like Facebook where you can just focus on the ads, maybe make a new video ad and get a lot of results coming in. With Google shopping ads, along with focusing on the ads, you need to focus really well on the back end. And one thing that you want to focus on is the Google shopping feed app that you have installed on your Shopify store. So one thing you can do within the shopping feed app is assign categories. Along with assigning categories, you should be assigning sizes if you're selling apparel or anything like that. But the number one thing you should always do is assign categories. Now, if you're just a beginner and just starting out, instead of assigning category for each product, I just recommend that you choose one specific category. It doesn't matter which one really, and just keep it at that until you start getting results. So what I usually do is once I start seeing clicks or impressions or even sales for a few specific products, I go into my Google Shopping Feed app and assign specific categories for those products specifically. So then I'm not just wasting time doing all of this optimization for products which weren't even gonna sell in the first place. So do this last, but definitely do this and keep this in the back of your to-do list if you really wanna make a killing with Google Shopping ads. But moving on to our next thing, and that is fixing up all of the merchant center errors for the products. Now, one thing I want to say about this before I show you guys what I'm even talking about is having warnings is much better than having errors. Now, what do I mean by this exactly? Well, let's go ahead and go on over to my merchant center account, which I've opened up for you guys. And this is something that you'll see in the products and diagnostics tab once you have uploaded all of the products. So as you can see, there are some red errors over here which says disapproved, and there's some orange triangular errors which are actually warning signs. So you want to avoid these red errors at all costs for the products that you're selling. Now, I currently have these errors as issues shown on my Google Merchant Center account, but I've already fixed them and it'll be updated within the next few hours. But having these orange warning signs is fine. It's not that big of a deal, but having these red ones, it's really a bad thing because your entire Google Shopping ads experience and the results that you get literally depends on the Merchant Center feed. I mean, there's nothing more important for Google Shopping ads than this thing. So it really would make a big difference if you focused on this and make sure that everything was properly optimized. Because again, if you properly optimize this, only then will Google know who to show your ads to and whether they follow all of the policies and what kind of keywords to show the ads for. Again, these things can't be determined until you have fixed all of these errors and Google Shopping feed marks your account as properly optimized, because when you do that, magical things start to happen. And by magical things, I mean your sales start to increase, your conversion rate starts to go up. So that's one thing you definitely want to do. Again, having warnings is much better than having those errors, so fix those red errors. But that brings me to my next one, which is setting up reviews to show up on Google Shopping ads. Now, this is kind of a more advanced thing, and this could be done after you have several products, maybe 50, 100, 200, even 500 products. A lot of people don't even implement this, specifically dropshippers, because all they're interested in is the quick buck. If you really want to stand out of the crowd, I highly recommend that you start implementing these reviews on your shopping ads to take your experience to the next level, because there are several good things that happen from this. I mean, I haven't really thought of anything bad that could happen from this. Maybe that it'll cost you some time to kind of get this set up, but the good things are that it'll increase your click-through rate significantly, and that will lead to a more trust, because if people see reviews on your shopping ad, I mean, there you go, that's literally extra sales for you because you have reviews directly on your shopping ad and majority of people don't. So that's ultimately going to lead to more conversions, and that's what we want to become profitable with Google Shopping ads. Setting up reviews is kind of a pain because you need a certain amount of reviews and you need a good amount of 1-star, 2-star, 3-star reviews as well. I know as dropshippers, we just like to import those 4-star and 5-star reviews. But if you want to set up those reviews to show up on your Google Shopping ads, I highly recommend that you start importing those 1-star, 2-star, 3-star reviews, because only then will be approved for their program. But that brings me to my next point, which is having an hour guarantee section. Now, this is directly towards product page optimization, meaning you need to add this at the very end of your descriptions. But the hour guarantee section is very, very simple. It just says that customers get a 30-day to 60-day money-back guarantee, meaning any problems happen, you'll have them covered for 30 to 60 days. And the text can be very small. It doesn't have to be too big, but the hour guarantee section is now replacing the trust badges. In the beginning, I used to always say that you need trust badges. If you don't have trust badges, you're making a big mistake. I mean, why are you even dropshipping if you don't have trust badges? But now it has changed to having an hour guarantee section instead of those trust badges, because our guarantee section boasts a lot of more trust compared to a trust badge nowadays. And in addition, majority of dropshipping stores don't have this, so it helps you directly stand out of the crowd. And when you stand out of the crowd, again, magical things happen. But that brings me to my final point, and that is basically having Google Shopping promotions. Now, this is again something that will be set up directly on your Google Merchant Center account, but this lets you basically offer X% off discounts on your shopping ads directly. If you do a simple Google search and just type in Google Merchant Center promotions or Google Merchant Center discounts, you'll see the link where you can enable this. And I have it opened up for you guys because I've already enabled it on my store. But once you enable it, an additional tab under the product section comes up on your Merchant Center account, and it's called the marketing tab. So under the marketing tab, you have the promotions tab. Basically, if we read what it says offer discounts and free gifts with your products by setting up promotions. Your promotions must meet participation requirements. Now, I already just set up a promotion, and this promotion is just extra 10% off on all orders. And if we look at it at the status, it says policy review approved, and it's currently under review for SKU review and the final state review. So once you do set this up and get approved, you can directly set up promotions, and this will show directly under your shopping ad. And to illustrate what I mean by this, I want to go ahead and go over to our last example with Kids GPS Tracker. So if we look at listings like Sharper Image right here, we can see that it says special offer right under it. And if we click on it, we can see that it says free shipping plus 20% cashback coupon on order. So they implemented exactly what I'm telling you guys right now, that promotions and marketings tab. So that is something you definitely want to do, because this special offer symbol comes right underneath your shopping ad. And if we look at the majority, they don't have that. But if yours does, you bet your click-through rate is going to go through the roof. And LL Bean has it as well right over here. If you click on it, it says 20% off your order, and it expires in 1 day. So that's exactly what you want to implement. And again, it's shown directly on the ad. It's not like when they click on your ad and goes to the product page, it's shown in the announcement bar. No, it's shown right on the ad. And again, it offers a greater incentive for customers to actually click on your ad. But these are the 7 different optimization hacks that you can basically implement right at this moment to 10 times your return on ad spend with Google Shopping ads. If you found any type of value in this video, smash that like button and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.